Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Shotgun Shogun, and it's Wednesday. I set my alarm this morning for 5 a.m. so I could watch the live stream, but apparently, have you ever had that time where you set your alarm and you think that you set it for a.m., but you actually set it for p.m.? Let me know in the comments section if you've ever done that, because, well, I definitely didn't do that. I just decided that, I wanted to sleep in this morning and then be late for some work meetings and some other stuff, and, totally just jack my whole day up. But here I am, ready to do, well, as ready as we're going to be to do this video. By the way, if you're new here, like the video, subscribe, like it anyways, because you're going to like it regardless. Before you even watch it, you already know that you're going to like it. So make sure you do that. But anyways, we're going to get into the patch. So we're going to get a big patch this time around. We're going to be getting the hero and artifact balance adjustments. Mercedes is going to get some stuff. You thought that we had a lot of stuff that was announced over the weekend. Well, we got a lot of stuff here now. A lot of people already know about the balance adjustment. I didn't do a video on it, and people complained about that. And they said, Shotgun Shogun, when are you going to do the video on the balance adjustment? Well, I'm going to do it right now. So we're going to be talking about the balance adjustments that are going to be coming through for a couple of the units that are going to be coming out. Well, not out, but in the balance, right? One of the big things that a lot of people asked for was APOC Ravi. She was a super powerhouse before, fell off a little bit. Also, you've got Luna. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to buff Luna, give her EEs to make her even relevant, but we're going to see what they give her. Now, I have looked at these before when they came out briefly, so I kind of know what the gist of them are, but we're going to go through them. We're going to go through them. And I forgot to turn off my... forgot to turn off my alerts. So even though I'm not streaming, thank you, Sleepy Ash, for the following me on Twitch, which the rest of you guys should do as well. We'll see if anybody else does it while I'm making this video. Anyways, APOC Ravi, Spectral Axis is going to be her S1. Before it was attack, it absorbs some damage as health. Damage increases proportional to the caster's max health. Now, you're going to have injury, which is a meme. But it's whatever. It's just an added thing on here, right? Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health. The severity of injury increases proportional to the damage dealt. Injuries decrease max health of the target by up to 10% every time the skill is used. So it's going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be adding injury to it, which, I mean, APOC Ravi is a long haul unit. The only problem is that Little Queen Charlotte is still relevant, right? Which, I mean, I have ran into some APOC Ravis that my LQC, like if they have an Arius Adamant on the field, just was not able to get through. And it was rough. It was rough. So maybe we'll see a little bit of a resurgence here. I do think that injury again is a meme, but at the same time, APOC Ravi is more meant for the long haul, right? So yeah. Anyways, the effect of War God's Might. Wow, another one. Dark Scion, thank you for the follow as well. 16 hours ago was the last person who followed. I start recording a video, forget to turn off my alert box, and now people are following. But thank you for the follow as well. Middle of the day, random, weird. But this is going to be the passive, the S2. This is going to consume your fighting spirit to recover your health. Now it's going to do the exact same thing, but it's going to increase your combat readiness by 15%, which means that you can build her just dirt slow, bulky, counter attack, because when she gets hit, she's going to get that 15% CR boost. This is going to make it so that she's a little bit more disruptive. You can't really AoE into her. She's not going to need, because one of the problems that she has is, like, if you don't get natural turn cycling and stuff like that, it's rough, because if you build her too slow, they're just going to lap and clap. If you build her too fast, she doesn't do as much damage because she's not as bulky. The Ravis are very, like, gear stat weird, right? So this is going to give her that extra little bit of a boost, similar to the red version, as well as the healing on that. So passive still going to have the hold on, covers the caster's health. Are they taking the critical hit chance out of this? Are they taking target? I don't see it in the after effect. Maybe they'll explain down below, but if they're taking the 30% critical hit chance out of that, that's real bad. That's real bad. I hope that is a miss right there, or they explain it down below that they're just gonna give it to you somewhere else, making the awakenings. I don't know. But anyways, her S3 here now is going to regain. It's going to bring your person back with 15% instead of 10%. Not really the biggest deal right there, right? But damage dealt by this skill increases every time somebody dies, with the effect going up to three times. Sorry, also after awakening, the dead ally comes back with 30%. My bad, I should have read the after awakening, because originally it was 10% after awakening, now it's 30%. That is a little bit bigger. That's, in fact, 20% bigger. And this is going to be like Last Rider Crow, where if people are dying, this is going to stack up, meaning that the long haul is going to be, she's just going to be just destroying stuff. Now, it does concern me here, because I believe I'm reading this right. I can read sometimes, but battle starts. Start the battle with 50 fighting spirit. At the moment the caster is attacked, this consumes 10 fighting spirit to increase combat readiness of the caster by 15% and recover the caster's health amount. Recovered as health is proportional to the caster's max health. I do not see the critical hit chance by 30%, because that is going to be massive if that is gone. Anyways, let's move on to Luna. This is the warrior showcase. Infinity Slash will have a soul burn effect. This is going to increase the hit number to max. That's kind of nice. Because then at least that way with 10 soul burn, you can figure out like what you want to, like how many hits there in order to cool things down, because it does reduce the skill cooldowns by 1 to 3 turns, and the damage dealt increases according to the number of attacks. So you can do the extra big burst damage, or you can leave your luck up to RNGesus, your whatever up to RNGesus. The next one's going to be her passive. And previously, this one increased attack and critical hit chance by 30%, the caster's health by 50%, if the caster's health is 50% or more, and the caster's defense and decreased chance of suffering a critical hit by 30% when it is less than 50. Now increases the critical hit chance and critical hit resistance by 30%. This also further increases attack by 30% when the caster's health is 50 or more, and increases defense by 30% when the caster's health is less than 50. So they're taking the critical hit chance and the resistance out, setting that aside, and now they're breaking that attack and defense out based on whether you're above or below 50%. I think that this is a good overall change for this, because if you're counting on that 30% critical hit chance like you would with APOC Ravi, and you dip below 50%, let's say you triggered Sigur's Scythe, now you're at a 70% chance to crit, whereas previously you would have been at 100% chance to crit. So this is a very, very solid change. I like this change overall. Now for the S3, before awakening, soars into the air, hits the enemy with a spear with a 100% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns, penetrates the target's defense by 50%, acquires 5 additional souls when the enemy is defeated. So now it's going to change to soars into the air and hits the enemy with a spear with a 100% chance to decrease the defense of the enemy for 2 turns. Why'd they add the 2 in there? 100% chance to... Why is the 2 green? I don't know. Anyways, this is going to penetrate the target's defense by 50%. Attacks using an advantageous element. When the enemy is defeated, acquires... So they're adding in the advantageous element here onto this, and they're highlighting a 2. So that is... that's good. I like the advantageous element there. They're going to buff Coeric again. They keep tuning things that they've already tuned, but it's good because it doesn't really do much. He's so Dimensional Corridor for Coeric. This is going to previously before awakening attacks the enemy with a dimensional corridor with I'm just going to read after awakening. Previously it attacked the enemy in a dimensional corridor with 100% chance to each to dispel 2 buffs before increasing the skill cooldown by 1 turn twice. Increased speed to the caster for 2 turns. Damages dealt is increased proportional to the target's speed. So now it's going to be attacks the enemy with a dimensional corridor with 100% chance to dispel 2 buffs before increasing skill cooldown by 1 turn twice. Oh yeah, tongue twister. Grants stealth and increased speed. So that's going to be nice. The increased speed, the stealth is going to be really good. Stealth very solid at survivability, right? So that's a good change. Now I see here the option 1 exclusive equipment is in red. Are they gonna they might say that. I'm gonna wait until I finish reading it because it'll be right down here after I talk about it for a minute maybe. But anyways, the effect for dimensional explosion will be changed, and the hero's exclusive equipment will have dimensional explosion as its option 1. Okay, so they're moving the equipment to dimensional explosion, and that's going to increase the attack of the caster for 2 turns before attacking when using dimensional explosion. Okay, so that's what they're going to do with that one. They're not changing. They're taking the stealth off of dimensional explosion, adding it to dimensional corridor, swapping the exclusive equipment over to dimensional explosion. Okay, I don't know how much that's going to help him out, but is what it is, man. Now, Mort. So they're hitting like everybody that people have been talking about. Mort, Apoc, Ravi, Luna, Kowaric, Roaming Warrior, Leo, Mercedes. So let's go into Mortelix, the great Mortelix. So this is going to be Extermination. Previously, pierce the enemy with a 50% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns, ignoring effect resist when the caster is enraged. Okay, it's going to get a soul burn now that's going to increase the effect chance to 100%. So it's going to do the same thing, but you'll have 100% chance to hit them with that defense break with no resist check when you're enraged. So that's going to be pretty nice. It'll add an extra, because it was 60% chance. Yeah, 50 plus 10. I can math. It was a 60% chance. So now it'll be 100% chance. That's all right. But anyways, so we're going to look at his passive. Now, previously immune to stun and sleep. If the caster inflicts a critical hit when using a basic skill, has a 40% chance to activate Sacred Blessing. Sacred Blessing increase critical hit resistance of all allies for 1 turn and increase speed for the caster for 2 turns. Okay, now immune to stun and sleep, has a 30% chance to counterattack when attacked. Now this does stack additively with counterattack set, so that's going to be really good. So that's going to be a 50% chance to counterattack, kind of like a Purgus, right? If the caster inflicts a critical hit when using a basic skill, had a 50% chance to activate Sacred Blessing. Now, Sacred Blessing is going to do the same exact thing, but you will also be able to buff that another 10%. So that will, now hold on, effect chance. No, it'll be the, is that going to affect the counterattack chance on that? Because it's an effect and it's in green. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see, because if it goes up to 40%, 50-60% chance to counterattack with a 60% chance to activate Sacred Blessing, that would be pretty solid. I would very much like that on that great Mortelix, and I think that would be really good. Counter B13 squad, where ya at? Anyways, S3, they're just gonna make it so that he just stuns everybody when he just blows that shirt off. Anyways, previously Soul Burn increased the damage dealt, and injuries decrease the max health by the target by up to 15%. So they're taking out the Soul Burn, they're adding another 5% of injury to it, wrapping it up in a bow, calling it a day. Now on to Roman Warrior Leo, who is most likely still going to be garbage, and even Seaside Assyria can't save him from everybody that already just turned him into something else that they wanted. So Fire Shock Bomb, this is going to decrease defense for 2 turns. So before, this increased skill cooldown by 1 turn, but now it's going to decrease defense for 2 turns. So maybe you'll see him in hunt teams because of the defense thing. Go Raku. This is previously had a 100% chance, if Mologorid, to decrease speed and plant a bomb for 2 turns. Now, attacks all enemies with Raku, decreasing buff durations by 1 turn before a 100% chance to each to decrease speed and plant a bomb for 2 turns. Grants the caster skill nullifier 1 time. So this is going to work like this is going to be he's going to be your opener. He's going to be able to reduce that cooldown or reduce the duration on the immunity buff, which is going to set that up. Now this does do that before planting that bomb on, so you can strip and reduce speed and slap on a bomb, give yourself a skill nullifier. Now there is still the effect chance here on the right hand side. I don't know if they're going to change that or if that is just a mistake and the 90% will still be a thing. I don't know, unless you have 110% chance to do that, which would be only a 5% chance to have the 15% hit you. Now we're going to go to Dom, Ice Dom here. Hail is going to be her S1. Previously, it had a 50% chance to decrease speed for 2 turns. Now it's going to have a 40% chance to stun for 1 turn, and your Soul Burn is going to put that to a 100% chance. Well, it increases the effect chance by 60. I don't know because I mean, your skill chance on the side here still has another 10, 5, 15% chance to buff that up to 55% chance. So does that overflow again and overcome the natural 15%? Because you will have a 115% chance to put that on them. I doubt it, but is what it is. We'll see it when it comes out, right? Anyways, current Blizzard cape will be changed into the passive skill Nixie Grace. So Nixie's Grace. Before, cast a barrier over all allies for 2 turns. This was your reflect. So now it's going to be a passive, and when an ally suffers a critical hit, has a 35% chance to activate Blizzard's cape. Can only be activated once every 3 turns. Blizzard Cape casts a barrier and reflect on all allies for 2 turns with frost magic. I don't like this. I don't really like this. Now, you can reduce the cooldown here. It's a passive. Oh, I guess if you don't do the cooldown, it's 5 turns, but with the molas in it, it would be 3 turns. I don't like this. I liked being able to cast it because I don't want to rely on a 35% chance passive. I think that's garbage, actually. I think that is a terrible change. Actual trash. Actual trash. Like the one thing that you used her for, which was reflect memes, you can't even put up when you want it to. You have to wait for a critical hit, which whoever is going to potentially be dead, and then it's only a 35% chance. If it was a 100% chance, then I could understand every 3 turns. But seeing as it's a 35% chance, actual garbage skill. Literal just trash. Anyways, Effect for Ice Spear will be changed. Okay, so previously 50% chance to decrease combat readiness by 30%. This was after a 90% chance to stun for 1 turn. Now attacks all enemies with a large block of ice with a 90% chance to stun for 1 turn and a 100% chance to decrease combat readiness by 15% and increase speed of the caster for 2 turns. Yeah, I'll take a guaranteed CR pushback. Versus a 50% chance to get a 30%. I definitely prefer that. Overall, I think Dom got shafted on her S2 real bad. Now let's take a look at Mercedes, who got an upgrade, especially in the art department. Divine Bolt attacks 2 enemies with shock magic. Okay. Now it attacks 2 enemies with shock magic before increasing combat readiness of the caster by 15%. I feel like the dev team, when they don't know what to do with a character, they're like, yo, you know what? Just give them a CR push somewhere, somehow. Did they get hit? CR push. Did they hit something? CR push. Did somebody look at them? CR push. Did somebody not look at them? CR push. Just CR pushing all day, which I mean, I guess is good because it disrupts a little bit of the flow, but I don't know. It seems very lazy. Very lazy. So Dimensional Rupture here. Now, previously attacked all enemies with the massive light sphere. If used when there were 3 or few enemies, it activated Dimensional Rupture again and dealt damage increased. Dealt damage increased as enemies became fewer. When activated this way, Dimensional Rupture decreased damage and can be only activated once. That doesn't sound like how that worked, but again, I don't remember the last time I ever used Fire, like 3 years ago when it first came out. Anyways, now attacks all enemies with a light sphere with a 70% chance to dispel 1 buff. That's also feels real lazy. When there are 3 or fewer enemies, damage dealt increases as the enemies become fewer. When the caster is granted increased attack, activates Dimensional Rupture again. When activated this way, Dimensional Rupture deals decreased damage and can only be activated once. Okay, so if she's got an attack buff, boom, you hit twice. Good. All right, I like that. That's a good increase to damage. Now, Blazing Eye of Kull. Before this was release the power of an ancient book. Strongly attack all enemies before increasing the attack of the caster for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the target's lost health. Now we're going to see it as release this power, but this is going to increase before increasing the attack of all allies for 2 turns. A critical hit will increase the damage dealt. Okay, made it a lot more simple, a lot more easy. I like it. They increased the overall spread. Did they increase the overall spread of damage? Doesn't look like it. Actually, it looks like they brought the damage down because that was 10, 20, 35. Now you're actually reducing the damage, but the critical hit will probably well make up for that. They're going to be fixing Merciless Glutton again. Currently increases the caster's combat readiness when the enemy is defeated with a 100% chance to increase effectiveness for 2 turns. What is going on? Oh, hold on. Forgot that I had that open. I was like, what is this noise? All right, back to patch notes, and I can probably edit that out, but I don't think I'm going to. We'll get back to patch notes right here. But now, when using a single attack, increased damage dealt by 16%. When defeating an enemy with a single attack, increases the combat readiness of all allies except for the caster by 12%. I kind of like this. Now, this is an option for Little Queen Charlotte. Instead of using something like a portrait, instead of using something like I don't even know what I'm pretty sure I just have portrait on mine. But this is an option for those big warrior damages, the ones that are going to kill everybody, right? Little Queen Charlotte actually I think would be phenomenal for this. Could potentially put this on like No, because Rem is AoE. Yeah, it wouldn't be very good. Anyway, Secret Art Storm Sword previously had a 100% chance to grant increased attack to the caster for 1 turn when an enemy uses a non-attack skill. Now, this is going to, when an enemy uses a non-attack skill, this is going to increase your combat readiness of the caster by 24% and give you attack. That's actually really huge. That's real big, especially if you're going up against like any sort of buffer for a thief. I mean, think like, an RB is just going to cut. Violet is going to cut. Rylet is going to cut. Not that you would use that on a Violet or a Rylet over like a Dreamblade or a Violet's Talisman, but you know what I mean, right? Like, so you can have a big single target thief or an AoE thief like an RB. Sure, you're giving up on Gab, right? You're giving up on Meme Blade, but to be able to cut and not worry about that, like this is going to stop cleave, right? You're going to be able to just F over Oxlots because like no matter how fast that is, you're getting 24% just boost right up to the front, right? And so you should be able to cut the well, depending on where, because 100%, I don't know. I'd have to see how that goes, right? When it comes to the 100% boost to CR from Oxlots versus that cutting, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I think it'll be pretty good. Moving on though, because they've still got more stuff to talk about. Episode 310, East Policia. More story for you to skip through and then not understand what's going on and then be like, oh, this is just way too hard. Some gear that is not max rolled. Still hate that. Still hate it. Hate it. You can get a frame, but and here is the Mercedes art. Definitely a big art upgrade. She's also going to have an artifact. Now, this is a Mercedes exclusive 5-star artifact. After clearing the final destination, players will be able to receive this. Now, this is going to, at max, decrease the damage suffered from a critical hit by 25% when more than one damage reduction effect is granted, only the strongest one. So that is going to be pretty sweet. Now, if an ally is attacked when it's not the caster's turn, has a 15% chance to activate dimensional what? What was her thing? Dimensional rupture. So a 15%, this is going to reduce the damage she takes, and you're going to have a 15% chance to bop them with an AoE dimensional rupture. Now, I'm pretty sure too, if you have an attack buff on, the dimensional rupture also has the potential to do its thing. Okay, now Selective Summon Season 2. Who is going to get this? The Selective Summon has changed, and Season 2 has been updated. Previous, tap the Selective Summon icon in the main lobby. Go to Summons, Selective Summons. All right. Selective Summon Season 2. How to unlock Selective Summon Season 2. Complete the previous Selective Summon. Oh, so we're just getting a whole new Selective Summon. That's pretty pogs. Then clear 1010. All right. Target. Heroes and artifacts that will appear in the Selective Summon Season 2 are as follows. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, it's Shu, Ervalen, Flan, Mort, Politis, Ida, Senya, Ilanov, Euphine, Cecilia, Alencia, and Bomb Model Kana. Now, in terms of who to pick there, I mean, Politis is really good. Politis is really good. Pretty solid. Pretty good. Politis? Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna try to get the air to surface missile because I actually don't have that one. 4-star heroes, 3-star heroes. I'm not going over all those. A very special opening day side story is going to be coming on the 2nd with the patch. So if you are already done with your seaside stuff and you don't really have anything else to do, we will be getting this. It's a puzzle mission, so you're going to be able to you know, you're going to be able to just do that at the same time, because we are getting the next part of the Order of the Sword and the Lord of the Summer. So we will be getting the next part of that. Hopefully you guys have gotten through that. I liked it. I kind of enjoyed it. They're forcing you into Hell Raid because, you know, you probably haven't done it anyways. But yeah, so there is that. Your artifacts are going to be useful here. It's going to be the same deal as it always is. You're going to be able to finish it up. How do you guys like the volleyball thing? I kind of like the volleyball thing. The volleyball thing is kind of fun. Apocalypse Street, we're going to do something with Charles. So they're going to bring Charles into the story. Okay, I like that. Alencia is going to be here. We're going to get floor 120 on Abyss. Now, that was pretty quick, actually, because they had just talked about that over the weekend, and then, boom, here you go. Now, Into Deep. Conquer Abyss for 115, and you get 240 stigma for an achievement. Is that a joke? That's a joke, right? Like, that has to be 240 stigma. Straws emoji is good, but 240 stigma? Hold on. That is one blue dog. So good. They could have just put a blue dog in there for the achievement. That's what they could have given you. Anyways, Abyss Floor 101 to 110 adjustments. Some stats for certain monsters that appear on 101 to 110 have been adjusted. Maximum health and attack for certain monsters that appear in the first wave have been reduced. Fantastic. Skill damage and stats of bosses and regular monsters appearing in wave 2 on floor 101 will be lowered. The stats of boss monsters that appear in the second wave on stage 102, 103, 105, 107, and 109 have been reduced, and the stats of monsters appearing in Wave 2 on 104, 105 have been lowered. Okay, equipment storage. We talked about this in the previous. It's kind of like a waiting room, but for gear. I like it. It's kind of cool to add some extra stuff there, I guess. They already talked about the exclusive equipment for Coeric, don't really care. World Arena victory point formula adjustment. Okay, this is interesting. All right. Victory point gain upon win will keep their current victory point gain logic. The difference between each player and their opponent's victory point and leagues affected by the victory point logic. Victory points upon loss will be changed to the logic used in the World Arena Skyward season, which is... Okay. I don't know. It'd be nice to see. But maybe they said it somewhere else, and that is just what I need to go look up. Anyways, episode 3, 5-star summon hero pack. All right. 10 consecutive summon pack episode dash. Heirs who cleared episode 2, 1010 Twisted Core. What is this? Episode dash pack can be purchased by tapping on episode. Okay, yeah, I got it. Summons 1 through 8 will contain 3 to 5-star heroes and artifacts from episode 2. 9 and 10 will contain a 5-star hero and a 5-star artifact from episode 2. Okay, so you're guaranteed a 5-star artifact and a 5-star hero. They could have just put that on there. Potion of Ascension pack. Ooh, 1 per account. Oh, this is the one that just 6-stars something right away. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's good that it's limited to once per turn, but I don't know how I feel about that one. Getting a little on the pay to winny. It's not really too hard to 6-star a character. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, though, I think that the buffs are good. We'll see how it plays out. Equipment's cool. Abyss 120 for those who want to do some PvE, and go from there. But anyways, tell me who you're going to be looking for in these selective summons too. And if you didn't already like this from the very beginning when I told you to like this, you know, go ahead and like this and subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace.